Hello everyone, thank you for watching again. This is Robert Radford with 50 Years of Chess. My opponent today is a young student, Bristol University student from 2003-2004. The game was actually played on the 30th of January 2004. So we've just gone into a new month of a new year. And his name was Henry Hunt-Grubbe. His rating was around 1765 and I was 1788. I was playing white and I believe it was in one of the middle rounds of the tournament in the Bristol League Congress Major section. And the game went as follows. E4, I'm playing white. E6, D4, D5. So we have a French defence. And I played knight C3, knight F6 and bishop G5. Usually white plays E5 and the knight goes back to D7, pushing the pawn to C5 afterwards. But this line is not too bad. So he played bishop to E7. And this is the way I play it. Bishop takes, and then pawn on. And this way I'm pretty well keeping his bishop, white square bishop, trapped behind his pawns now. Bishop back to E7. Queen G4. They say don't get your queen out early, but I wanted to play aggressively against Henry because in a Congress you've got to try and win games. Draws are okay if you only have one, but you have two and you're virtually out of the tournament. H4, H5, Queen G3 and C5. So he's immediately trying to counter in the middle with C5. It's a good move. Knight F3, Queen B6. So he's hitting the B pawn and he's threatening to win the D pawn. There's only one move I can play here to protect both, which is castle. He then took the pawn and I took back with the knight. Then he played knight C6. I thought he might have maybe played bishop to C5, but knight C6 is okay. Knight back to B3, bishop D7, queen to F4, knight A5. So I don't really want him going into C4 with that knight. So I chopped off the knight with my knight. He retook and then rook up to H3 so I could swing the rook across in defence of my king in front of the pawns. And also play rook F6 attacking that F pawn. So he's played B5 and now I'm playing rook F3 to attack that F pawn. He's defending it with the rook, he's not castling. So it's difficult for him to castle at all now. So that's very interesting. Now I've gone queen into D4. Bishop to C6. A3. B4. I didn't want him to play that, but anyway, pawn takes, bishop takes. That's what I feared. So I've gone king into G1, stop him coming down there with his queen. Oh, that's nasty. Rook B8. Knight back to A2. Bishop to A3. It looks good for a rook takes bishop, but the problem is you can go queen takes bishop. And he wins the exchange because I can't go pawn takes queen because it's pinned by the rook. So rook to G3. Rook takes rook. Pawn takes rook. Bishop back to C5. It's a pretty sharp game, this. Queen back to D2. Offering him a queen swap. He chose to play queen to B6. Again, hitting two pawns. hitting my B pawn on B3 and my F pawn. So I've played rook to C1. Now, obviously, if he takes the B pawn, his bishop would drop. And if he takes the F pawn, I have rook takes bishop. And if he plays queen takes rook, then I play queen takes bishop. So he's gone king into D7. Now I'm attacking his queen, his bishop on C5. He's taken the pawn, and I played knight up to B4. He's played a rook behind the bishop. Now queen across to F3, which is useful because he can take my knight and I can take the bishop. But had he not taken the knight and just withdrawn the bishop, I've got queen takes F7 check. So he's gone back with his bishop to H4. Queen takes pawn. Bishop back to E7 and still attacking my pawn. Attacking my knight on B4. So I took the bishop, he retook with the rook. Took the rook, he retook with the queen. And queen takes pawn, which puts us level now on material. It's looking pretty good, though he's advanced his pawns. Maybe not the best thing at this stage, because you got to try and keep your pawns together, connected. If they're connected, you keep them that way while the queens are still on the board. So I played bishop D3 just to stop the advance. And then he's gone in queen to the middle. Very good place to have your queen, of course. So I took the pawn. He took the pawn down on G2. Bishop check. King to C7. This is quite a bit of a bloodthirsty duel going on between us here. I played king into A2 because I want to make sure that my king's out of the way of checks. Now he's played queen to D5 again. I ought to go back with bishop to A4 to stop any checks, but who's winning I don't know. I've come back with the bishop to D3. Now he's played king into B6. Queen into E8. Oof, it's a sharp battle this. We're both really having a go at each other. I'm offering him a chance to move his bishop, but he goes for a check on A5. King G2. Yes, he's got his perpetual check now. Almost, anyway. Bishop to D3. King A2. And queen to A5. Check. Now I could go queen A4, but I think my pawn's too weak in the middle. I'm sure he would win that pawn if I did that. So we repeated the move and the game was drawn. So I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't a boring game, and we both tried our hardest, I think, to win it for a long time. But my pawn was weak on E5 and I just had to be careful. Even now he could take it, but he knows he'd be in a bit of a problem with checks, because he'd lose his bishop first of all, and he doesn't want to do that. So that was the problem. His bishop was hanging, so he had to keep checking. Right, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I'll bring you another one soon. Thank you.